Okay, guys, so welcome back to this channel. Today there is this flyer. It's actually flyer. It's actually a book cover that I made for the Church of Pentecost Fairport District a few days ago, and then I want to show you guys how I did it. As you can see it on my screen, uh, it is a flyer for a program, 3 day week program, and then there's a back. So without much ado, let's zoom into Photoshop and then start doing something out of it. Okay, so we create a project. Because it is a book fold kind of stuff, you'll be using A4. This A4. If you don't know where to get A4 from, you can come to print. When you come to print, and then you could select A4 from here, and then you just click on create. Yeah, so well, I think I would have loved it to be in landscape, so let me create it in landscape rather than portrait. So landscape, make sure you select the landscape orientation from this side. Yeah, so well, let's make sure we have our rulers there, because I'll need rulers. So you can use Ctrl+R for the rulers, or you can come and select it from where I did it. So if you check, you see that the size of the A4 start from somewhere 0 up to more or less like 12, though it's not up to 12 inches very well. But if you want to just divide it, just come, just hold here, drag, and then we could just say somewhere around well, this could be the middle. So what you saw was I have some items on the flyer that I added. First of all, it was a picture. I think I have it on my desktop, new folder. Let me see. I think I have this thing. Yeah, okay. So this is the background image I was using, so let me just quickly drop it here. Bingo. And this flyer, it took me less than an hour to do, so we are hoping that we'll be able to do it. So I created a new layer on top of the background image, and then I'll go use a there are two ways you could go about this thing. You could use either a brush. Let me try and show you the first way. You can use the brush to go to the size, make it very big, and then the hardness, make sure the hardness is at 0, and just try and paint the whole thing. You know, it was the opposite way around. You could, let me make it a little bit smaller and show what I'm trying to prove here. Though that won't be the best, but well, could be like this. The size is a little bit small. Oh, good. This is not bad. Well, the like this, and then you could use the marquee selection tool and make sure you just cut off the side. Yeah, something like this. Just that the concentration will be on that. Ctrl+Z is for this selection. Now there's one way to do it, but it really doesn't look nice for me when you want to just do what I did over here. You know what I did here has this kind of style on it. Now let me show you what I did quickly. Instead of just, so what I did was to go to this one to create a new layer, and then you create a solid color, a brown one, of course. When you create it, you now come and rasterize it. Right click on the layer, click on rasterize layer, when you do that, come to the eraser tool. Now, if you use a magic eraser, you just clear off the whole thing. But try using the normal eraser tool. Now, when you use the normal eraser tool, reduce the hardness and increase the size of the eraser to somewhere around, let's say, 2000 pixels, 2500 pixels. Now just hit on the surface just once like this. Now you see that the image is slightly displaying inside it. And let me delete this background. Now what I did again was use another a rectangular tool to create that white stuff you saw there. So what I did was simple. I created a rectangle, and inside the rectangle I gave the inside blank and gave the outside a white border. So when you increase it a little bit, you see that, well, make sure that this one is on top of it. Yeah, so I increased a little bit so that I could have that white tip on top of the, you see, okay, if you look at it from here, you will not know, but then it's an A4, the design actually starts somewhere here, and you realize that there's a white space around it. So let me finish it up by increasing it to cover the whole place. Now, probably the part that will interest you most is how I wrote the district week 3 that I have there. So quickly, first of all, let me go design the logo aspect where I just place the logo there. See, the logo is here. Let me reduce it a little bit. So you reduce the logo, make sure it's a little smaller enough, like the way I did mine. You know, one thing about design is that make sure that whenever you're designing, you arrange your things very well. If you don't arrange it, there are a lot of times that some of the students, or you see some of their work, you see that they design and they just arrange the items anyhow. Make sure that all your things are centered, they are aligned, they are arranged very well. If you're able to arrange your work very well, you'll be able to get good credit from people. So right now, what I just typed is the Church of Paint, because it's just the writing on the logo. Well, let's use Nezabo, the font Nezabo. That was the font style I used. So I think I don't have it here, so let me search. So just really draw the Church of Pentecost. And one style I found about logos and then writings is that the smaller they become on top there, they are very nice. So assuming maybe you are having a program and then you are told to maybe design, don't make the logo big, just make it small on top there and then write the writings on it. It makes it very, very nice. So think like this, and then I'll duplicate this, bring it down and write a fair pray in it. So when you click on T, letter T, it gives you the chance to zoom into the text field mode. So I'll write fair pray district. Well, there's one part of doing such kind of designs. Nice. Wow. So once your logo is there that way, it's nice. And one thing I think you can add, if you wish to, you can add a horizontal line to this side. Just a small horizontal line, maybe a white one. Once you have it like this, you could have your this kind of style is also very common and very nice. You could use it. Well, so once you have this, you are halfway through the job. Now let's just write the district week 3 that was written. District week 3. So let me increase the font size a little. Oh, this is what I wrote. This is not district week 3. Okay, so let's see. Now I think the font style I use here, probably if you don't have the font, I think I'll is the Kina font. You could just try downloading them or using Google, or probably I'll see if I could place it in the description section below so that anybody, the distance between the writings, the week 3 and then the district is a little bit away. So I'll go to advanced and then come to the distance where we have written auto for this side. You can come and reduce it, just adjust it a little bit, just to make sure that it's well. You probably didn't see what I did, but when you put the mouse on it, to give you that arrowhead, and you can just scroll it left or right as you want. Now there's just one part. Now one interesting thing I found is that whenever you design and you use texture gives your design kind of life. And of late I've been using it very often. Some of my designs I've been adding it. So look at this yellow texture I downloaded from Google. You could just type anything, any color you want, and just add texture to it, or you could add texture design to it, and it will just come. So I'll come and drag it and drop it on my design. Probably, you see the background is a brown color, and brown mostly matches with yellow. If you check most of the designs, brown and then yellow, bro, guys, they match very well. So you could just, so what I'll do is that I'll create a clipping mask out of it. So maybe I just, if you don't make sure that the texture is on top of the week 3, if you don't put it on it and then you create a clipping mask, it will show somewhere different. So once you just show the clipping mask and you do it like that, it will just come and then display inside. And bingo, that is just quarter of the job done. And you did realize that there was a border around it. There was a shadow around it. So what I did was that you right click here, go to blending options, and then I gave it a stroke. I gave it a stroke, an outside stroke. Make sure it's an outside stroke. Alright. And then I dropped shadow for it. Well, what I did was, you can leave it like this and it will be nice. But if you look at the design carefully, if I zoom in a little, you get to realize that the one that is around it is actually red, and there is another one which is white around it. So there are two things that are around it if you look at the design carefully. What I did was this. You duplicate the district week 3 layer and get 2. Merely you do it, you see that the thing will disappear, the clipping mask will disappear. Just right click on it and bring it back. Now what you do is that the font type that is holding the layer that is holding the clipping mask, now go to the stroke and change that color to this one, the one that we are using for the background. Once you change it to it, this is how it is. Now leave it like that. Now come to the second one, the second layer that is here. Now that one too will be having the same kind of features as the one that we just disabled. Just go to that one stroke, and this time around, increase the size of the stroke. Don't move it anywhere, just increase the size of the stroke. You see that it will be like two different things on top of other, and this makes your design come to life. It makes it a little bit like 3D design. Yes, and you could use it for most of the design. Well, anytime you learn some kind of design principle, don't just leave it like that. When you get any kind of flyer, you get any kind of design, make sure that that principle you have studied, use it like a couple number of times so that you get accustomed to it. Now, the rest is just history and then test, which I think wouldn't take much of our time. Well, let me just quickly go to what I did here. So you see I have the geometry zone, and what I did was you just create a rectangle, a normal rectangle, and then if you want to have the rounded edge, you could click on this thing to disable all the edges from moving together. You see when I do this, but if you click on this one, all the edges will move at the same, like all of them will move at the same time, right? So that is one thing I did, and I chose the color to be brown, I guess. Not this kind of brown, sorry. So this kind of brown, and then I duplicated it. When I duplicated it, I picked the other one that is below, increased it a little bit, or I increased it a little bit and changed the color to yellow. I used the yellow from the design on top here, not just my manual logo yellow or something. And that is how come you have this kind of style where the yellow is popping up at the side of it. Now let's just write the test in, which is Dumacia zone. Yeah, so we are gradually getting to the end of the whole thing because, well, from what I'm seeing is more or less like the rest are just test and it follows the same design principles, which I don't want to spend a lot of time on. So let's just go change the font to, if you don't have Neserboard, you could probably use Calibri, the normal Calibri, but probably use Calibri Bold. Before I got to realize the use of Neserboard, I was using Calibri Bold for most of my designs, and it's pretty good. It's not bad. So I have Fair Prey zone. You know, I'm just basically using a few number of colors, and it's making the design nice. The lesser the number of colors, and you see I'm arranging them vertically or like horizontally. Sorry, forget about the terms I'm just using. I'm arranging them as I'm going, so you can see that the designs are not just scattered. I've seen a number of people design, when they design the thing, you see that one is just scattered somewhere. If you want to make sure that your design is following, just when you drag and you want to drop it, you see that anytime I move it, there is this orange lines that are just showing. If you want to see that it is in line, this is pink, right? Yeah. Just make sure that you have, if you want it to be in line with the one on top, make sure you just drag it to have that kind of line with the ones on top. Anytime it is in line, it will just bring you that line. Those ones are just like inbuilt rulers that is inside Photoshop. So what was that? The next one is, guys, I can't just type the whole thing for this one, but probably let me just exhibit some few things, because the theme, I need to type the whole theme again. I think the work was sent to me by document, so in a form of is here. Okay, I think I've lost it, but well, let me go back and then let me just type everything for you guys, and then we'll go faster. So because I wanted to just go and copy it and then come and paste it. Let's see. Well, I don't have much of a choice, so let me just type. So the theme, Joshua 13, 3 verse 13 to 14. Well, I'm done with the first part of the typing. I'm sure there might be some rough kind of stuff inside. Now let me bring back my, see, when you look at it, you realize that the distance between the letters are also not very good. Let me bring them closer. And you know, writing on yellow, one kind of stuff I like about yellow, this kind of color, brown and then yellow, is that they just match opposite. When you write in this one, you could just use the alternative color to write in the other one. So I'm writing in yellow. You know, I was writing in this brown with white and then this one too with yellow. It makes it visible. You could equally use the other ones to write. And guys, the other test is chi. Well. Think I definitely have to go and look for that music part of the thing and come and show you guys, because let me first of all show you where before I designed the music, I just made sure I had this one on top of it, which I made it in the color white. Yeah, so this is where I was planning of putting the music to. Yeah, so this is how the whole design looks like. And then I use another, because the songs were plenty, I just divided it with this rectangle too and made it brown. And finally I came and wrote on top of it songs. I would definitely have to go look for that songs and come and paste it, because I can't type all those songs, and it should definitely increase the length of this tutorial, which I don't want to increase the length. So kindly bear with me if you see me doing some copy and pasting somewhere, because in actual sense that's what we'll be doing. Sometimes when the writings are given to you, because this is a song, don't know, it looks like, yeah, I think I deleted it after the program, so let me get a song here. I'll leave it in the description, a link to this whole program, source files and everything, so that if you want to use this template for your program or something, you could just come and change some few stuff. I'll upload it and then leave a link in the description section where you can download it. Okay, so this is the songs for the week program. I think it's loading, so I just copied it. You know, if you don't have the P font they used, it's probably going to give you a headache. So I copied, came to come and paste it. So Ctrl+V, paste it, and then I formatted it to make sure that it looks nice. Well, so let's see. This was the song. When you use Netherboard, you see that it looks nice, but the fonts just go wild, because if you know how to sing key songs, so to or do, you see that it just made it some letters, random letters, a bracket or something, which, so there is this one called Tree Nova 2. You could download it. I think it's available on Google. I downloaded it on Google and then I use it. So, and to make things nice and neat, I just have to leave a space anytime I get one of the songs designed. So I did like that and basically got all the songs there. So this one is the so I have 1, 2, 4 of the song here. Let me copy, Control V, Control paste, Control C, Control V means copy and paste. So I'll just go and get the other one, which is number 5, number 7, and come and paste it. So Control C, come to the music, so that I want you to use the same kind of font I used. That's the reason why I intentionally duplicated the layer by copying and pasting first. So I divided this one too because it was too long, though the song didn't divide it, but it was making my design bad, so I just divided it. So basically, guys, think everything about the flyer is just designed. I think what is left, probably the venue. So the venue, what you can do is that bring back, if you want to bring back the layer panel, you could just collapse and then bring it back from there or expand it. Now what I just did was I came to those layer, the layer that had this rectangles on, selected both. If you want to select both, just press your hand, press the control key and then select all the layers, and then I group them. Now after grouping, I just drag the group over to this create new layer icon and dropped it. Now I created another layer and I drag. What I did was that I just came and clicked here. Now after clicking here, it gives me the chance to pull those 2 layers down, and that's what I did. After getting access to it, I changed the color. This one was rather yellow and the other one was rather the other way around. So yellow, and this one was brown. Let me see if that is what I did. Oh, yellow and white rather. Well, anything goes. Once the design is your own style, just something to make it nice. So you could just use it like this and just write your venue du Marcia zone. Sorry, commercial tutorial mode. So let me just use it, drag it over to here. Make sure it is on top of the group, because if you don't drag it over to the group, it will swallow it. Well, if you want to move the whole group very well, you could just do it like that. If you see when I'm adjusting, it goes the same way. If you put your hand on shift, it allows you to just go just one way. Put your hands on shift. That's just one trick you could just use, and I think I used it when I was doing it. So I make sure that this one too is in the center and it's nice. It makes it nice. So guys, I think this is where I'll end the tutorial for today. Let's just I think the other one, because of typing sake, I'll just leave it like this. And this is the end results of just using the texture to just design something. So if you are new to this channel, please kindly subscribe to it. We'll be making more tutorials on some of the flyers that we design, how we design them. And please like this video and share it. Just let somebody learn graphic design. Graphic design is easy, and I'm sure that once you're able to achieve this, you become the best. So have a good day, and then see you in the next video.